Hi friends, good morning. It's Monday. We're still in the frozen tundra. I do believe it's going to start thawing though, because it looks like the weather's going to warm up a little bit this week. So I'm kind of happy about that. Heatwave sent me another package. I already opened it. It came Saturday night. So yeah, buddy, they sent me a bunch of camouflage stuff. I ordered the Smile More hat from Roman. Whoa, snow. And then the sunglasses they sent me. Welcome to the day, guys. I'm all over the place. I'm rushing them in a hurry. They sent me the camo ones they got out now. This is awesome. So if you guys don't know, I love camo. And I had the Yukon. I still have it technically. It's not mine anymore. But my plan for the Yukon was I was going to do like a doll style wrap on it in camo. I wasn't going to do like this camo. I was going to do more like a desert. The three different colors of tan, three different shades of tan on the Yukon, and it's not mine anymore. It's a long story, like I said. I still have it. You see it in the background of videos, but it's not mine. So I love camo. I know I don't really wear a lot of camo or show a lot of camo anymore, but I've always loved camo, always will love camo. But anyways, kind of excited about that. I ordered the Smile More hat from Roman. As far as I know, Roman doesn't do sponsorships or anything like that. He gives stuff away if you go there, but as far as like writing him and having him send something, he won't do that. But anyways, Smile More. So anyways, welcome to today, guys. We're going to do things a little bit differently here, so let's get into that. So a lot of you are new to the channel, and the channel has kind of changed gears over the years. Not on purpose, just because my lifestyle's changed quite a bit. So allow myself to reintroduce myself. Hi, I'm Brad. Chubby Guy Customs Garage was my original side hustle. Actually, it was originally Redneck Customs, and then I got a lot of flack for that. Being in Northern Illinois and people saying that my builds were redneck, which that was kind of the whole point behind it. But anyways, so I changed it to Chubby Guy Customs because I'm a chubby guy. So we named the channel Chubby Guy Customs Garage, and the whole idea, the premises behind the channel was originally to showcase turning, just a regular guy making a decent living, an okay living, building hot rods and motorcycles, and dirt bikes and four-wheelers, and buying hunks of junk and turning them into really cool stuff. And it's changed over the years. Do we still do all that stuff? Absolutely. Not so much anymore because, like I said, my living situation, lifestyle, whatever you want to call it, has changed. And we'll get into that. So if you go back in the channel, you can pretty much see my life progress. I haven't showcased everything on the channel, but a lot of the cooler stuff. I struggle with certain things because, there's a lot of people out there that run their mouth and they're like, oh, I hate social media because people only show the good things that are happening and we all know their life really sucks. And that is true. But who wants a negative Nancy in their life? When I scroll Facebook, I know I don't want to see Debbie Downers and negative Nancys bitching and crying and complaining about how they feel life is screwing them. We all get the same 24 hours in a day. Make the best of it. Do what you think is right. I don't know how to put it without being really vulgar and angry about it because it's made me mad, but we all get the same 24 hours in a day. Make the best of it. Of course people are going to post the good stuff in their life. Who wants to see the negative? So my YouTube channel reflects that. Now, since I've been daily vlogging the last year and a half, you see that with me. You see both sides. If I'm having a bad day, I tell you I'm having a bad day. If things aren't going well, I tell you things aren't going well. That's all a part of daily vlogging is seeing everything. I've had ups and downs, but my point is, if you go through the videos, you'll see a lot of the good morning, cheers. You'll see a lot of the different transitions I've done over the years, different jobs I've done, how things have changed for me. How I went from only having not only having, but only being interested in vintage two-strokes, to getting a modern two-stroke and completely changing it around and ripping and riding. You know, my farmhouse in Illinois, the ranch, the Brap Ranch we called it, we had a track out back that we could go out and ride whenever we wanted. It was great. I mean, honestly, besides the house being older and not really laid out the way I would want it to be, the property itself, to me, was almost perfect. Bigger garage and a pond and a little bit different layout on the house, and it would have been the perfect property for me. Which we had a 6-car garage with a loft. But anyways, so now in the last year and a half or so, we've been daily vlogging, and a lot of that all started when we made 2023. We made the decision to move to Kentucky. I think I daily vlogged some before that, but not a lot. But the move to Kentucky was what really started the daily vlogging for me. We came down here to visit my other half's parents, found out her dad's not doing well, not knowing how much time we'd have left with him. We made the decision to move down here full time. We gave everything up in Illinois. I sold most of the cars, so all the cars. I sold all the cars, except for our daily drivers. I traded my really super nice Cadillac sedan for that Yukon, and that Yukon it's a good vehicle. It runs and drives good, but it's old. It has body dings and dents, and it has rust. I had a really super nice Cadillac STS, super low miles, beautiful car, ran perfect. I traded that for another tow vehicle because that's what we needed. I gave up a lot, sacrificed a lot. We gave up the house, the property, sold all the cars, sold a lot of the dirt toys, not all the dirt toys, and bought a camper, and decided that, let me back up a little bit. We sold everything, tried to figure out what we wanted to do for a living situation. My in-laws live out in the sticks. There's nothing close by. If something in an emergency situation, there was nothing close by that we could have rented. And not knowing where we were going to land on our feet or not, which we'll get there. Financially, we found it to be the best case scenario to just buy a camper, park it on my in-laws' property. So we did. We found a really nice, well taken care of. It's older. I think it's an 89 or 90 Fleetwood by Terry. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a Fleetwood by Terry. That's all I remember. 30-foot camper, and it's worked. Am I getting tired of tiny home living? Absolutely am. So the other bugaboo or caveat to that is we had this plan. We talked to her parents. Her parents were fine with it. They have this giant concrete pad out on the back half of their shop. Well, my father-in-law said, yeah, you guys can move down here. You can be close right on the property. You can put your camper on that pad and be good to go. All right, cool. Let's go, right? Well, my father-in-law, I don't know the whole situation. I'm going to leave it at that. But my brother-in-law ended up doing the same exact thing, which kind of screwed us. So we lived in the mud for about 8 months. When I say mud, it was grass when we started. And just the camper sitting there for 8 months, it sunk down into the ground. It sucked. So the first 8 months wasn't that great. And he bought a house, took his camper on the road with him, and we were finally able to move back onto that concrete pad. The original plan's all back in play now. Cool. So there's that. And job situation, like I said, I don't feel have really landed on our feet. We're doing okay. I got a job right away as a deputy for the county we live in. My wife wanted to work with animals again. She tried a couple different jobs. Actually, the business that we own, and I'll get to that, she actually worked there first and didn't like it because the way they did things there, which is totally ass backwards. Like I said in the other video the other day, what you think would be right and would be common sense, do the exact opposite, and that's what these people down here think is right and common sense. So she ended up getting a job in retail for a little while, and then doggone classy, our business came up for sale. We tried to buy it in the spring. As soon as it closed, we had some issues getting everything together and getting it handled, so that didn't happen. Had to wait a few months, got some other things in order, and then September hits, and we were finally able to take over the business, and we reopened it. That business being closed for 4 months drastically affected clientele, and we'll leave it at that. Now, we have been running it somewhat successfully since September 29th was our reopen date. It is now February 2nd. And things have been okay up until the last month and a half-ish. When people say this town really does shut down, they really do shut down. Like, they don't do anything in this town in the wintertime. And that really sucks. But it is what it is. So, you know, you do what you do what you can, and you go from there. So, that's pretty much in a nutshell the last, couple years. It's been tricky, to say the least. I still do a lot of, I missed a lot. We kind of went off on a tangent about certain things. I'm still racing. I race four-wheelers and dirt bikes. I race four-wheelers at monster truck shows. I don't so much really race the dirt bikes anymore, but I do ride them. And we still have some shows coming up, and we'll get back to that in a minute. So I missed a lot. I'm just going to do a quick summary, synopsis, whatever. Hot rods, motorcycles, dirt bikes, four-wheelers, anything to do with that. It's been my life. I have raced. I have done car shows. I've built hot rods. I've done burnout contests. And I want to continue all that down here, but life just hasn't given me the lemons to make lemonade yet. But we're going to keep trying. We're going to keep pushing forward. It's what we do. So anyways, just a kind of a quick synopsis of who I am, what the channel's about. We still do turn wrenches. We own a dog grooming business, so you're going to see dog grooming. We ride dirt bikes and four-wheelers. You're going to see that. I fish. You're going to see that. You're going to see monster truck shows and monster truck content. That's what I do. I race four-wheelers and monster truck shows. I race in quad wars. I'm a law enforcement officer, deputy. So you're going to see some law enforcement content. You may see me talk about certain things. Not so much work side, because our agency is really uptight and really close-lipped about things. Have to be super careful what I talk about. Can't show our badge or anything on social media and stuff like that. So, there's just different things that we got to be careful about with that. Anyways, dog grooming, fishing, sometimes guns, sometimes we'll talk about pew-pews. But dog grooming, fishing, guns, monster trucks, dirt bikes, four-wheelers, we do it all here. It's not just turning wrenches anymore. So that's kind of where we're at with things. Just wanted to give you guys a quick synopsis, a quick heads up. Hey, this is who I am. This is what we do. If you're new to the channel, we appreciate you tuning in. I'm here today. Just pulling into the shop now after having to stop at the bank. I do have a groom today. So I will be getting in here and getting tied in and getting the groom started here directly. Will you just wait a minute? Just wait a minute. Jeez. Today has been good and bad in a sense. We got one little guy, Bear. He's he's a sweetheart, but he's not. I mean, it's weird because you put you put any of our tools close to him and he turns into a jerk. He bites, he whines, he cries. I put the bike gloves on. Well, first I put the muzzle on him, and I was able to trim his eyes so he could see, and I did his paw pads, and I did his nails, and I did a sani trim on him, trimmed his butthole and his pee-pee, his ding-ding, and trimmed his nails as best as I could. I mean, they're freaking long. You don't know where the quick is because they're black, so I had to be extremely careful. I got cocky, I guess, you know. I thought I'd be okay, so I took the muzzle off of him. Well, that was a mistake, because then I couldn't get the muzzle back on. I put the bike gloves on, he bit me, got my finger through the bike glove. The teeth didn't go through the bike glove, but it still hurt like hell. I'll drop a video in here. And, you know, I hate dogs like that because, you know, they usually, they're not taken care of, and that's the exact case here. It's an older gentleman's dog, and he's overgrown. His nails are super long. He had poop stuck in his butt when he came in. So we were able to give him a bath still, clean his face up some, as best as we could. I mean, I could only do what I could with the muzzle on him. So, got his nails and the sani trim and stuff. So we got some stuff done on him. But, it breaks my heart to see dogs like that. And he's super sweet otherwise. You know, I put the, with the muzzle on, I can love on him and he's fine. And then I took the muzzle off of him and I tried to love on him without the bike gloves on, and he's totally fine. Well, you put them bike gloves on though, and you get just the bike gloves alone, and he goes batshit crazy. So, I don't know, it's really weird. But hang on, I gotta get gas. So, like I was saying, he's a good boy. He just doesn't like being groomed. So, you know, it makes it hard, you know, to be able to take care of the animal. And it's not about the money. It's always about the safety of the animal and just the animal being taken care of. And grooming is an essential part of an animal being taken care of. It's as simple as that. And I should have got before pictures of him, but he was being ornery. So, he's the cankerous old man, 13-year-old puppy dog. He's got tumors all over his body. I really do feel bad for him. But, anyways, did a face trim on a doodle. That should be in here. We had a few other grooms this morning that the two groomers did, and we just had another groom show up, a mini groom show up on a dachshund or dachshund or whatever you want to call it, wiener dog. And then we got another bath coming in this afternoon. We did a Weimaraner bath this morning, So it's been a busy day, and we still got 2 or 3 more to go. So I'm running up to grab some lunch real quick, and then heading back to the shop. I'm gonna get everything else knocked out and finished up. It's already midway through the day, 1 o'clock already. The day's flying by. It's good and bad, I guess, in a sense. But yeah, so this video's kind of all over the place, but yeah, I just feel like it was time to touch on some things. You know, as far as like the reintroduction and all that stuff. But anyways, onward and upward. We're moving forward with everything like we always do. Well, I've been saying it, and I've been saying it, and then I've been saying it again and some more. It was bound to happen. I got bit today. And, you know, it's always the little ones that are troublesome, that are jerks, whatever you want to call it. It's always the small ones. I just, you know, try to do something nice, try to help somebody out, and I guess that's just what I get. I don't know. This lady called us and said that she's had this dog just kind of showed up at her house, and she wanted to get him cleaned up and try to rehome him. And she said that she was having troubles with trying to clean him up or whatever. And I said, well, you can bring him in. We'll give it a shot. You know, worst case scenario, we tried. And that's that, right? So she did. I tried. I failed. I got him. He was fine during the bath. You see in the video, he was fine in the bathtub. No issues at all whatsoever. Blow dried, he was fine. He didn't even fight the blow dryer like most of them. He didn't care. Didn't even care about the blow dryer. Not once did he care about the blow dryer. Get him in here, just barely put a set of scissors next to him, and he freaked out. Put the comb next to him, freaked out. Put your hand by him, he bit me. He bites. It is what it is. Huh. Well, I'm leaving too. So anyways, all in all, it was an okay day, all in all. We was very busy today. We'll post pictures of all the doggos. Now it's time to go. Head to the house, kick her hooves up, relax, find something to eat on, and then do it all over again tomorrow. Oh, yeah. So as always, I appreciate you guys. You know, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Stay tuned. More and more content to come. Appreciate Hi friends, so that's going to be a wrap for today. I got bit. It's not bad. It's just like a little pinprick. I got my hand out of the way just in the nick of time. I was petting on him, and he was totally fine with me petting him. And then just all of a sudden, out of the blue, he took a bite out of me. Just a little pinprick on my palm. I cleaned it really well with alcohol and antiseptic and peroxide and gasoline and diesel fuel and brake clean to kill whatever bacteria he might have had in his mouth, so I don't get an infection. I do have amoxicillin at home if I do start showing signs of an infection, so I'll just start popping them like Skittles if that's what ends up happening. Shouldn't though. I got it right away. It barely pierced the skin. I cleaned it quick enough with peroxide, and in all reality, it was just peroxide and alcohol is what I used. So I should be okay with it being a small little pinprick. I mean, bacteria is bacteria, though. It doesn't really matter. You know, I mean, a needle stick can transfer disease and whatever. So anyways, he's a sweet little boy. He was super happy to see his mama. We brought her back to the groom room and showed her what he was doing. So, you know, I mean, she's aware. She knew. I knew he was aggressive. When she called, she told me he was aggressive. That's my own fault. I can't be mad about it, and I'm not. You know, I said we would give it a shot, and we did. So anyways, all in all, a pretty good day today. We got another good day lined up tomorrow. We did a lot of dogs today. A lot of dogs today. That's crazy how busy we were, and I'm happy about that. Schedule's starting to fill up nicely. I'm happy about that. The last couple weeks has sucked, so, you know, one good week doesn't make up for the bad ones, though, you know. I worked for a guy for a long time, and, you know, I used to always say, man, that was a good day today. And he's like, yeah, but it don't make up for the bad ones. And he wasn't lying. You know, business 101, right? For every bad day you have, you got to have a double good day to make up for the one bad, you know. But anyways, today's video just kind of all over the place. Like I said before, you know, I kind of re-explained some things to the new people on the channel, and it's going to be a little bit longer, maybe boring to some of you. I'm sorry. But I just kind of felt like, you know, we've jumped around a lot on the channel. You know, my original goal, my original plan was just strictly turning wrenches and riding dirt bikes and four-wheelers and, you know, that kind of stuff. And, you know, it just, my life changed, my lifestyle changed, my living situation changed. So, you know, I'm just, at this point, it is what it is. I sure wish I still had a track in my backyard. I sure wish I still had friends to go ride with on any given weekend or whatever the case, you know. It's just really just me and the family down here now. Yeah, I've got some coworkers that I would consider friends now. One has a adventurer bike, a KLR 650. So we might get a little throttle time in this summer. It kind of makes, I mean, I have my little supermoto, but it almost kind of makes me want to get an adventure bike now. Just for that, you know, like I've got a bagger, I've got the crotch rocket, which I still don't know if I'm going to keep the rocket or sell it. I'm still in the air on that. So, you know, I've got my bagger, I've got the crotch rocket, I've got the supermoto. I almost kind of feel like I need an adventure bike, or at least an enduro, you know. I would love to have a full-size supermoto again. I really miss my DRZ 400. I mean, of all the bikes I've had, the DRZ 400 and the Gixxer 1000 are the two bikes I probably miss the absolute most. But it's just, I don't know, to me, I feel like I'm going to feel weird no matter what I'm on. Well, maybe not the supermoto, because that's more along the lines of an adventure bike, but I feel like I'm going to kind of feel weird being on the bagger or the rocket riding with a you know, single cylinder adventure bike. If I had my choice, which I don't, because I can't do that. If I had my choice, I'd have a Honda African Twin. That's all there is to it. I mean, it's 1000cc V-twin enduro, basically. The ultimate adventure bike. But I don't have that option, so that's a sweet bike. It's a wheelie monster. I mean, 1000cc V-twin. But anyways, on a dirt bike frame, basically. Anyways, yeah, that'd be my dream adventure bike right there. But the Multistrada's a sweet bike too, but now you're talking even more money. But anyways, Buell makes one too, a Ulysses, which was kind of a cool bike. Upright seated position. I'm going down the rabbit hole now with adventure bikes. Anyways, on my way home, I don't know what we're doing for dinner. We're going to figure that out, I guess, when we get home. Good day today. Somewhat good day tomorrow lined up, so I'm happy about that. All in all, things are turning around from the crappy couple weeks we had, so I reckon probably this weekend I'm going to have to go and get the four-wheeler home, because I've only got 2 weekends left before Lexington. So this coming weekend, and then the following weekend, and then the third following weekend is the race. So I'm going to need to allow myself time to get stuff. So I figured this Sunday for sure, no matter what the weather is, I'm going to have to hook the trailer up and start moving toys around. That's all there is to it. Committed to Lexington, committed to, what was the other one? Lebanon, Tennessee. And I'm in the air about Martin, Tennessee. I've been asked. He wants me to do it. I'd like to do it, but it's like 4 hours away. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that trip or not. So we'll see. But 2 for sure. Lexington, Kentucky, and Lebanon, Tennessee, and then possibly a third with Martin, Tennessee, but we'll see. Anyways, as always, I appreciate you guys. You know the drill. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.